Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum viewers. My name is Taj Mohammed and I am a level student at Ryan School, Islamabad campus. So viewers, uh, as you know, become with a new interview every day. Today as well, we will have a very special guest with us. His name is Paul Bown. Today will learn about his life and ask him some questions. So let's get started. Can you please introduce yourself?
Ah, yes. My name is Paul Bown. I'm 81 years old. I live in the United States, in the state called Colorado, which is in the southwest of the United States. I'm married and have two grown children and one grandchild. I am retired. I used to teach. Uh, I taught at Brown University and at the University of Cincinnati. And I taught at a school called the Schilling School for Gifted Children. I just
Okay,
sit.
nice introduce. Okay, nice introduce. So my first question is, where are you from?
Well, I am from the United States. I am from the city of Denver, which is part of the state of Colorado, which is in the southwest of the United States, near the Rocky Mountains. Maybe it's part of the Rocky Mountains.
Okay, nice answer. My next question is, which city do you live in?
I live in the city called Denver, uh, which is also known as the Mile High City because it's a mile above sea level. It's a medium sized city. That's my answer.
Okay, okay, nice answer. My next question is, how old are you?
I am 81 years old.
Okay, nice answer. So my next question is, can you tell us about your family?
Well, my immediate family consists of me, my wife, who is strong, and my two children, my daughter Alexandra and my son Richard, and my uh, granddaughter. But her parents have asked me not to share her name on the internet, but she's about 2 years old. That's pretty much my immediate family. Well, there are in-laws, but that's the core of it. Yeah, that's my answer. Excuse me.
Sorry, my next question is, do you have any sibling?
Yes, I have one sibling, my sister Sarah, who lives in Vermont, uh, quite a distance from here, actually. Yeah, I should have mentioned her.
Okay, nice. My next question is, what language do you speak?
Usually, I speak English. In fact,
Okay.
that's my basic language.
Okay, nice answer. My next question is what is your nationality?
I'm a citizen of the United States. I like to think that I'm also a citizen of the world. I like to think that way, but technically, I'm a citizen of the United States.
Okay, my next question is what is your favorite hobbies?
I think my favorite hobby is playing the piano.
Okay, nice answer. My next question is what do you like to do in your free time?
Well, playing the piano, um, I exercise, and um, I I spend time on Facebook. I have a, a timeline on Facebook under my name, Paul Bown. You're welcome to look at it if you like. And I think those are the main things I do in my free time. That's my answer.
Okay. Okay, nice. My next question is what kind of music do you time like?
Ah, well, I like lots of kinds of music. Um, I always like to explore different kinds of music that I haven't heard before. I don't know if I have a favorite uh, music, but I like what is called classical music or European art music, especially the early 20th century form of that music. And but I like American popular music that includes rock and roll, jazz, and uh, gospel, and several other idioms. Also, I was a big fan of the Beatles, which is British, and I guess I still am. Uh, Recently, I have been exploring Balinese gamelan music, which is very interesting. And there's so many kinds of music you can find on YouTube. It's really wonderful. You can find music from all different countries and all different time periods. You can even find music from ancient Greece or other ancient musics. But I guess the things I mentioned are the main things. Yes, that's right.
Okay, nice answer. My next question is what is your favorite foods?
Ah, good question. Favorite food. Uh,
Yes.
I'm thinking. I have to think about it. Uh, I like uh, I like food that has lots of protein in it, and
Yes.
I don't know if I have a favorite food. There are lots of things I eat, but I don't think there's any one that I like better than all the others. I like them to be nourishing food, and so that's the best I can say. I'm afraid that's my answer.
Okay. Nice answer. My next question is what makes you happy?
Ah, I don't know exactly what makes me happy. Some days I wake up and I'm happy. Another day I wake up and I'm not so happy. I'm usually pretty happy. But what really makes the difference? I don't know. I don't know very well why I'm happier at sometimes than at other times. Uh, yeah, that's the best I can say to that. That's my answer.
Okay. Nice. My next question is where did you get your education?
Well, when I was a child, my family moved around a good deal, but mostly I got my education from public schools in the United States. Once we went to France, and I took first grade in France, and then I went. Excuse me. I went to several colleges, and finally I got a degree from Yale University. I got a PhD from Yale University. So there would be lots of places. And of course, you can get an education just by living if you pay attention. So that's my answer. Are you finished with the questions? Maybe I can answer one of your questions a little better. You asked what makes me happy. And I think what makes me happy is just going through my daily life in the usual way, without disturbance. And when that becomes disrupted, then I become frustrated. So I guess having things happen in the usual way, it makes me happy. Excuse me.
Okay, nice answer. My question is, why did you choose this career?
Well, I'm retired right now, but what I used to do is I used to teach. Um, and why did I choose this career? Well, I think I was interested in, in getting an education on a higher degree for its own sake. I just wanted to know things. But once you have that degree, well, I got the degree in philosophy. And one of the things philosophers can do as a profession is to teach philosophy. So I ended up teaching philosophy at Brown University and the University of Cincinnati. But that's why I chose it. I think because I had the education, so I might as well make that into a career. Excuse me.
Okay, okay. My next question is, what was your first job?
Hmm, that was a long time ago. Uh, I think probably my first job was in a library. So people take the books out and then they bring them back, and somebody has to put them back on the shelf in the right place. Uh, this was before the internet, so you had to read book. You had to get books and read them. And so my job was, they would somebody would put all those books on a cart for me, and I would go around and put them back on the shelf of the university library. And I think that's the earliest job I can remember.
Okay, nice answer. My next question is, what do you like most about your work?
Well, now that I'm retired, I guess the nearest thing I have to work is uh, is my Facebook page because I write little essays for it, and that's actually kind of work. There are serious essays about serious questions, and I write them and then I revise them and I revise them again. And so that could be work. Now I'm not getting paid for it, but it is work in the sense that I have to make a real effort sometimes to continue with it. That's my answer. Oh wait, I was supposed to say what I like about it. I'm sorry. Uh, what I like about it is that I feel like I'm creating something new and somewhat important because I write about serious topics, and so that's what I like about it. That I think it's about important ideas, and so I feel that I'm making a contribution. So that's my answer.
Okay, nice. My next question is, what challenges do you face in your jobs?
Well, excuse me. I'm sorry, I have a cold. Um, well, sometimes it's hard to solve the problems that I'm trying to solve or to come up with some kind of solution. To find the answers to, I have a question and I try to answer it. Sometimes that's difficult. I have to think about it, or I have to look something up to get more information, or something like that. And I think those are the main challenges. Is that the problems I'm addressing are difficult problems, and they require a lot of thought. And uh, but I rather like that. I mean, I like having a job that challenges me. See, that's a good thing. As long as it doesn't completely overwhelm me, I don't mind. I like it if it challenges me. Otherwise, it's
Yes, yes.
boring. Okay, that's my answer.
Okay, my next question is, what skills are important in your field?
Well, I think there are two skills. One is just the skill of thinking and solving problems. Well, you have to keep up with the field, although now that I'm retired, I don't do that much. But if I were still doing it, I would have to keep up with what other people have said. I mean, I should do that anyway, but I don't always keep up. And the other skill is teaching. Um, as I explained before, philosophers often end up teaching. Uh, that's a place where there's demand for philosophers. and so teaching skills are very important. That's my answer. Excuse me.
Okay, my next question is, do you work alone or in a team?
I pretty much tend to work alone. Yes.
Okay, my next question is, what advice do you have for a student?
Hmm. Well, I would say being a student is a wonderful thing, just because of the learning you can do, and maybe for other reasons also. Um, Sometimes people say that they grow up to be 65 and they retire, and then a scientist comes and says, "What was the best time of your life?" And they say the best time of my life was when I was a college student, and so and you should use every opportunity to educate yourself, not only what goes on in class, but if you can go listen to a concert or look at pictures or paintings, just keep learning things. So that's what a student is supposed to do, I guess. And so I guess that would be my main advice is to well, work hard. You may have to work hard, but learn as much as you can. Go beyond what the requirements are if you can. Go beyond the requirements, and you will be grateful for this later on, I think. But even if you aren't, it's still worth doing. So that's my advice.
Okay, thank you. Nice answer. My next question is, what motivates you to work hard?
Well, I think there's just something very pleasant about working hard if you really believe in what you're doing. Um, and so, in a way, I don't find it all that difficult. It goes easily when I feel that I'm doing something worthwhile. Uh, what makes work hard is when it seems meaningless, when it seems like I'm not really accomplishing anything. So the best I can do is to try to avoid those situations where it doesn't seem meaningful to me. It doesn't seem as though my work is important. Uh, if I can avoid those situations, then the work is much easier. But it's true, I sometimes get tired and I take a break because, especially intellectual work, is very tiring. You think that because the person is just sitting there, he's not working hard. But actually, they may be working hard. And during World War II, in England, they rationed the food. And they thought, well, a teacher, all they do is stand there and talk. So they won't need very much food. But in fact, what happened is the teachers collapsed. They started collapsing all over the place because just the effort of talking for one thing, it's actually a significant effort. And then a good teacher is also thinking about, well, how can I help this student? How can I help that student? So they increased the number of rations that a teacher would get. So uh, so just thinking can actually be very hard work. The philosopher Bertrand Russell said, "I can only do this for 4 hours a day. After that, I will go play tennis because my brain is exhausted." And so that's what he did. He only worked 4 hours a day because he was doing this very difficult work that was mathematics and philosophy at the same time. And but that's what he found. He might have wanted to work longer, but he was really quite exhausted by it. His brain would not cooperate. Um, so I guess what motivates me to work hard is that I think I'm doing some good in the world. I'm making the world a better place than it otherwise would have been. And when I feel that way about my work, then I'm willing to put up with some of the effort, some of the difficulty. So that's my answer.
Okay, nice answer. My next question is: have you ever changed your career?
I made that attempt once. I wanted to become a painter, an art painter, and I did manage to sell a few paintings, and I liked doing it. But uh, in the end, there wasn't that much demand for my paintings, and I still wanted to do the intellectual things. Uh, but for a while, I might have said an artist. But eventually, I came back to teaching philosophy and teaching other things. So that's my answer.
Okay, nice answer. My next question is: what is your biggest achievement?
Ah, that's interesting. Hmm. I'm sort of proud of my dissertation that I wrote when I was at Yale. You see, to get your advanced degree, you have to write a little book called a dissertation. And I still think that my dissertation was very well done, and it was highly original, and it was difficult to do, but I managed to do it. the task I set for myself was a very difficult task, and so maybe that was my biggest achievement. But then I raised. I was the primary caregiver for my two children for many years, and that was a significant achievement. I don't know if I can pick out one particular achievement that that was the biggest. Uh, and of course, I'm not finished yet. I maybe tomorrow I will make a bigger achievement than any I made before. So who can say really? That's my answer.
Please repeat your answer.
I'm sorry. Did you say something for me?
Okay, my next question is, what are your future career goals?
Ah, well, I sort of like being retired. Uh, That gives me a lot more choice of what to do. It's not that I don't work anymore. It's that I work at the things I want to work at rather than the things other people want me to work at. And so, I don't mind at all. I don't mind at all just continuing being retired. And if someone offered me a wonderful job, I would take it. But I don't know what that job would be. And so So I guess that's the best I could say. My future career goal is to continue being retired. No, that's fine.
Okay, nice answer. My next question is, do you believe in honesty?
Yes, I think a person should always be, well, almost always be honest. Um, there are maybe some situations where it is all right to say something false. Let's suppose let's suppose you live in a country with a very bad system of police, and someone you know is is running from the police, and the only what they have done that's getting them into trouble is just that they have criticized the government. So they're hiding in your house, and the police come to the door and they say, "Have you seen this person?" And you say, "No, sorry, I haven't seen this person." Because if you say yes, they will take that person and kill them or torture them, something like that. So I think in a situation like that, it's all right to lie, but you should not lie for minor reasons. It's one thing when a person's life is at stake, an innocent person's life is at stake. That's one thing. But you shouldn't lie just to get a little more money or something like that. That would be wrong. But that's my answer.
Okay, nice answer. So my next question is, what values guide your life?
Hmm. Well, one of my basic values is flourishing. I say that people flourish when they successfully do lots of things that use all their abilities, or most of them, and and that are meaningful to them. They think they're making the world a better place by doing those things. Uh, that's what I mean by flourishing. Of course, you have to be healthy. You have to be getting enough food and and clothing and shelter. That's all part of flourishing. But then you can go beyond that by developing yourself and doing things that you hope will make the world a better place. And I think flourishing is one of my basic values. It's better if people flourish than if they don't. And the other, excuse me,
Okay.
the other one is equality. Everybody should flourish about the same amount. You shouldn't have some people being very wealthy and powerful and have lots of prestige. That's not a good, and the other people not. Okay? Everybody should flourish amount to about the same amount. So so I call the two together. I call it egalitarian flourishing. And so I think that's my basic value is to have people flourishing as much as possible and as equally as possible. You may have to balance those two out a little bit, but those are my two basic values. And usually I say egalitarian flourishing over time because I want to keep this up. I don't want to have just a big burst of egalitarian flourishing and then have it fade out. So I say egalitarian flourishing over time. So that's my basic value. I try to make as much egalitarian flourishing over time for people that I can, and that's basically why I write the things I write. Uh, is I'm trying to say how society should be like in order to promote egalitarian flourishing over time. How should society be organized in order to get the most egalitarian flourishing over time? So I would say that's probably the basic value that guides my life.
Okay, nice answer. So my next question is, what makes a good leader?
What makes could you type that in, please?
Yes.
I don't see it in the chat. Did you type it in? Maybe I have to scroll down a bit. No, no, I see. Could you ask the question again? I didn't quite. Oh, what makes a good leader? Okay. That's a very interesting question. Yes. Because there's a difference between a good leader and a boss who just tells people what to do, whether they like it. A good leader brings out the best in people and guides them in a good direction. So a good leader needs an understanding of where it would be good to go. Now, some leaders are just very selfish and they just want power and wealth for themselves. I don't consider those to be good leaders, even if they're very effective. Uh, so a good leader will lead people in a direction of egalitarian flourishing over time. And then there are certain skills that a leader needs. It must be able to make people believe in things, but again, they should be believing in something good. Uh, there are leaders uh, who have started terrible wars that killed maybe millions of people. I think that's I don't think that's a good thing. So I'd say the good leader he has to have skills at leading, being able to direct people, but he also has to direct them in a good direction. Otherwise, all his skill just does harm instead of good. So that's my answer.
Okay, nice answer. So my last question is, how do you see yourself in 5 years?
Well, that's a good question. I mean, yeah, I'm 81 years old. I might be dead in 5 years. So it could be. I hope not. I mean, I enjoy life. I think I'm doing good things with my life. But that's one possibility. Uh, Another possibility would be that I'm doing more or less what I'm doing now, writing things, thinking about philosophical problems, uh, like what is a good society, and playing the piano, and doing the things that I do now. I'm satisfied with. I'm pretty satisfied with my life the way it is. I'm not frustrated with my life. I feel comfortable with my life, and so if it went on this way, that would be all right with me. I don't know if it will because our country is falling apart, but but if it did, I would not complain. So that's fine.
Okay, our time is ended, so give me some advice.
Oh, okay. Advice. Give you advice. Well, I think you, as far as I can see, you're doing very well. You're doing a good job with this interview, and uh, so I don't know you very well. This is the only place I know you from, but it seems to me like you're doing well. And so I would say keep it up, keep it up. Uh, and I'd say educate yourself whenever you get the chance. Educate yourself and always act so as to make the world a better place than it would otherwise have been. And so that would be my advice. You're not obliged to take it, but that's what it is. So that's my answer.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Well, thank you for interviewing me.
So this today interview. We really hope you enjoyed it and found interesting and information. It was a wonderful experience talking with our guest today, and we learned many valuable lessons from his life journey, experience, and thought. Conversation like these help us grow, learn new reflection, and feel inspired to move forward with positivity. We are very thankful to our guest for give us his first personal time and sharing his highlight with us. Hope you also learned some things meaningful from his interview. We will be back soon with another inspiring interview and a new special guest. So, Allah Hafiz viewers, Pakistan Zindabad.